A mixture that is too lean can make an engine run roughly and overheat. A rich air fuel mixture has less air in proportion to the amount of fuel. A slightly rich mixture can produce more power at low temperatures, but extra fuel uses step up fuel consumptions and ignition. A too rich mixture forces spark plug and causes incomplete burning, and that produces powers. In normal combustions, the spark plug ignites the mixture and small flame forms around the tip of the plug. The piston compresses the mixture, the flames spread faster and moves evenly half through the mixture. The piston reaches up dead center, the flames picks up more speed than suit to consume less the mixture. Combustion ends with the piston a short way down the cylinder. Detonation is a varying condition. Flames formed into the cylinders caused by controlled combustions. It occurs after the spark plug has fired. The sudden raising the pressure can cause a knocking sound. Sustained detonations, it can lift temperatures enough to cause pre-ignition, also called auto-ignition. Pre-ignition occurs before normal combustion when something in the combustion chamber heats up enough to ignite mixture before the spark plug fires. A mixture may also ignite simply because it is unstable under the higher heat pressure. Detonations and pre-ignition can cause a severe damage and must be avoided. Engine management system uses NOx sensors to detect detonations, and they return ignition to return it. This diagram best illustrates which form of combustion. In dieseling, the mixture is ignited without needing a spark plug, since ignition has been turned off. In dictation, there are two flaming flames, one initiated by the spark plugs and one by another combustion sources. This section examines air supply system. In multi-point injection system, the air is required to the combustion of the fuel is lent from the air filter through the throttle valve and into the common a manifold or a planet chamber. From here, the individual intakes, lands or pipes branch off to each cylinders. All of these pipes are of equal length. The designs of the intake system determines how large air mass can be drawn into the cylinders at any given engine RPM. This is where most advantage can move electronically fuel injections, since it can achieve exactly uniform distribution of the air delivered to the cylinders with Armstrong's passage to each cylinders. The cylinders fill with air simply, efficiently as possible. The breathing of the engine or its metric volume efficiency is improved. The more cranked into the cylinders, the denser the air fuel mixture when ignition occurs. This increases thrust on a piston and increases the engine power output too. The temperature of the air influences how condensed the air. Electronic fuel mixture will be. Cold air is dense than hot air, so has a greater mass in any given volume. This is why almost intake system air entry to the intake is away from the engine heats to ensure the entry of cool air. Since the manifold carries air only, it doesn't need to be heated by the coolant. Filtered air arrives at the intake ports as cold and dense as possible, ready for mixing with the fuel from injectors. The amount of air entering the engine must be measured, so the amount of fuel injected into the engine to form a mixture to suit the engine operating condition at that time. The volume of air entering the engine varies according the position of the accelerator pedal and the engine speed on the road. Changes in volume are reflected in changes in the manifold pressure between the throttle plates and the intake ports. When the piston draws air away from the manifold more quickly, the air can pass the throttle into it. The pressure in the manifold falls. At idle speed, this pressure is low. A high depression or vacuum as the throttle plate opens, the pressure approaches at the atmosphere. The depression or vacuum tends to form force in valve devices measuring the air entering the engine speed are very electrical signals to the ECU. The signals can be a measure of the volume of the air or of the manifold pressure. In both cases, this information combined with the engine speed signal to provide the basic setting for the injectors, or force with an air flow meter measures the volume of filtered air in entering the engine. It can be mounted on